I really should have started the week with this because most of the parsha you guys actually know. I hope. I'm just assuming you know something about the regalim. You've heard of the regalim, which is like
What parsha are we in?
Emor. We're in Emor in this country. Welcome back to the country where you've missed a parsha. You've missed a parsha, but we are at Emor in this country.
Oh, he missed Kedoshim.
But the end of the parsha is honestly one of the weirdest. It's just one of the weirdest stories in Chumash, and people barely pay attention to it. So this isn't Shvi'i. So here's the story. Okay, the beginning of the story isn't so bad. I mean, it's a little bit weird. It's hard to understand what's going on, but it gets worse from there. Vayetzei ben isha Yisraelit v'hu ben ish Mitzri b'toch b'nei Yisrael. Vayinatzu b'machaneh ben Yisraelit v'isha Yisraeli. So the son of a Jewish woman and a Mitzri man goes out, and the first question that all the Mefarshim ask is, from where to where? What is? He went out. Fine. Yes, he went. That's one possibility. Anyways, and he fought a Jewish man. Vayikov ben Yisha Yisraeli Hashem Hashem Vayikalel Vayiviu Otom Moshe v'Shem Yosh Lomit B'Divrei L'Matei Dan. And this guy, now he's in the middle of a fight. So what would you expect the next line to be?
Got punched in the face.
Yeah, something like that. He curses God. Right, he blasphemes, which is not what you expected sort of in the middle of the fight, but okay. And they brought him to Moshe, and his mother is Shlomit bat Divrei from Dan. So they put him in jail while they ask God what to do. Okay, now, what is the next thing that you would expect to happen?
They stone him.
The sentencing, right? So that's what you get, right? Right? Sentence him to death. Right? He says he gets stoned. So this is how you do it. And now, okay, so we take a bit of a side turn, which is, by the way, tell everybody this is the rule in general. But okay, that's not so surprising, right? Meaning, this isn't a one-time psak. The halacha is if you blaspheme, you get killed, right? So far, story makes sense?
We haven't had that command yet.
No, we hadn't got that yet. So now we get it, but fine. And tell them that anybody who curses, whether they're a ger, whether they're a Jew, so if they curse God, they will be killed. Now, what should the next pasuk be?
They killed him.
They killed him. What's the next pasuk? V'ish ki yakeh kol nefesh adam mot yumat. And by the way, if you hit somebody, so then, like you kill somebody, then you'll get killed. But wait a second, the guy didn't kill anybody. Next pasuk, umake nefesh behema yishalmena nefesh tachat nefesh. And by the way, had you hit an animal, you would have to pay for the animal. V'ish ki tenmum ba'mito kasher asa kein yasalo. And if you hurt somebody, so then what you did to him, right, what happened to you? Shever tachat shever, ayin tachat ayin, shein tachat shein, yite kasher yite mum ba'adam kein yaten bo. Umake behema yishalmenu umake adam yumad. If you kill an animal, you pay. If you kill a person, you get killed. Mishpat echad yeh lochem kager ke'ezrach yeh ki ani Adonai Elohechem. One law for you and for the ger, for I am God. Vaydaber Moshe b'nei Yisrael vayotziu Mekalel michutz l'machaneh vayikbuto afen b'nei Yisrael asu kasher tziva Adonai et Moshe. And now he tells the Jewish people, and they stone him. That was all one, by the way, one parshiah. That wasn't even a parsha break. It wasn't like, right? So if you read it, this is extremely odd, right? What is going on, right? Imagine, right? Like, imagine you're watching, like, I don't know, Law and Order, right? And they are handing down the sentence, right? They ask the jury, verdict, right? Guilty. And then you have the sentencing, right? You are sentenced to death. And by the way, I know this is not the issue because the crime was murder, but had you cheated on your taxes, or if someone cheats on their taxes, just know that you will have to pay interest plus fines, and if you run a red light, then you will get 3 points on your license, and now we will sentence you to death. Right? It's like the weirdest, right? It's like, and it's not, remember, this is not like a regular crime, right? This is a capital punishment, right? They're in the middle of sentencing someone to death, and it's just like, and by the way, I have you here, so let's leave him aside and let's throw in a...
This guy was given Hatorah before he cursed or blessed God.
So Chazal deal with that, right? Is what is going on? Is there hasra? Okay.
Wait, bless God. Curse.
Euphemistically.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. It's good to say these things.
So what is going on, right? Right. What is going on, right? It's really weird. Right? You look at it. It's
cursing God is equivalent to killing someone.
Okay.
And it's also equivalent to what? To hurting an animal?
No,
also
no.
equivalent? That's also in this
Those are
parsha.
always the tafases.
Yeah, but why is that here?
Oh, you always do what the guy did to himself.
It's a question on them, not me.
Right.
That's equivalent to killing or killing.
Is there like
Why is that here? Right? I mean, it's weird.
Yeah, well, it seems like...
Ein Tafazine is going on just the human, right?
Yeah. But we just got a list of laws.
I think it means Shvei Kesef, how much it's worth in
Right. So
every
Chazal,
week to
right.
take out.
Chazal understand it as money, right? Based on the comparison based on 9 reasons that you have at the beginning of Hachovel, right?
I didn't know that.
What?
I mean, there's a lot of things I didn't know, but I didn't know a list of reasons. I always thought that was kind of like a question which people fill in the answer. I didn't realize Gemara gave.
Oh no! It's the first daf of Hachovel.
Okay.
Pei Gimel and Beis through Pei Dalet Amud Aleph.
Checkmate.
You guys do the podcast?
Boom. Yeah, that was like. Do you know how much time I spent in that Gemara there by Fader in 10th grade?
Oh, yeah?
My God.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great.
Back in the day. Good times. 2003.
Well, if he was in a fight, it doesn't make sense that he's getting killed for this reason, but just know that the action you're involved in normally has these consequences.
Oh yeah, that's a great time. Okay, I could have if he had just said, and if you punch someone, fine. But it also is like, and if you punch an animal, right?
That's a little. I mean, we start. It just kind of goes on once you get in the Indian.
Right. So there's a lot of stories. So a lot of questions in this story. Right. So one again is what is all this ancillary law? The second one, there's a lot of questions, but let me just throw at the other one, which really is weird, is the whole story makes sense, that doesn't make sense, which is why did he curse God in the first place? Right? Meaning, if you had erased the cursing God from it, the story would have made sense too. And there was a guy, he went out and he fought somebody, and there were consequences, and here are the laws of assault. But this has nothing to do with assault. Right? Right? The issue at hand was that he got into a fight and cursed God. Why did he curse God?
Right.
He got into a fight.
Yeah, so why curse God? He didn't curse the person with the name of God, he cursed God.
Right.
Why?
I feel like Rashi is important.
Right? Why do you do this?
Does Rashi say?
What? Oh, good. So let's go to Rashi for a minute. So Rashi says, what was the fight about? And this will help us, give us at least one theory into it. What is the fight about?
The fact that his father was a Mekalel.
So good. So Rashi picks up on a different problem, which is, why are you telling me, right, it sounds like his lineage is important, that he is the son of a Jewish woman, but not of a Jewish father, right? And he's fighting a Ben HaYisraeli. Right. So Rashi tells a story, and now I want just to get you, we won't get through all the story, but maybe give you just one thesis in the story, which I mostly got from Rabbi Foreman, which is, okay, so the Midrash gives one theory, multiple, but one theory. What is happening here? Why is he in a fight to begin with? Because he wants to have Nachala. So he sets up his tent in Shevet where his mother's from.
Where's he supposed to go?
And someone else challenges him and says, you don't have a right here. Right? Because you don't have a right to be here because Shevet goes by father. Now, where's he supposed to go? So Ariel, and that's his fight. Now, the answer is, where's he supposed to go? And the answer is nowhere. The answer, halachically, is nowhere. He is lost. Right? He has no place to go because he falls through the cracks.
He can buy a house in the city, though. It's just a farm.
Correct, but they're in the desert.
There's no.
When he gets to the country, to Israel, sure, but he's not. He's in the desert. Where is he supposed to go? Where is he supposed to go?
Where are like the Arab Arabs staying?
On the outskirts of the camp. I mean, the answer is, right, he doesn't have a good place to go.
Oh.
Right? Now, so what are Chazal imagining? Chazal are imagining, why is he in a fight?
Because he's lost.
He's lost, right? He wants a place, he wants to fit in, right? And he's being kicked out.
And where should his children go?
This is a real problem. Now, let's get into his head psychologically. Why does he curse God?
Because he feels God's the reason.
Yeah, because he's not really fighting with the Ben Yisraeli, right? What is the Midrash telling you?
Right,
he's not really angry at the other guy. He's angry at God because the guy is right.
Right.
Moshe was judged to be God's word.
Correct, right? Meaning, this is right, and that's why he's angry.
Right.
Right? Now, Right? So to give you now just one theory, so you'd say, well, this is really sad. This is a really sad story. Now, what would presumably people always said this, but definitely in the modern period, what does every modern person say? Right? What would every modern person say? Right? We're going to punish him for his crimes. And what is the defense lawyer going to come in and say? Be his defense lawyer for a minute.
What do you want to do?
What do you expect from the guy, right? What do you expect from the guy? He had a hard life, right? The Midrash adds, right, that he was his mother had been raped, right? I mean, hard life. How can you hold him guilty for being angry and cursing God because of Yeush, right? He's angry at God. And what's the Torah's answer?
He hid his friend.
What's the answer? And this is where you have to look back. What is the phrase that comes up in the context of the Psukim? There's a phrase that comes up multiple times in that section. If you Psukim. No. Kager, Ka'ezrach. Right? The halacha is the same whether you're a ger or you are an ezrach. Meaning, what is the Torah's message here? Right? Or at least one of the messages. Right? Or the classic pasuk at the end of it, which is Mishpat echad yeh lachem kager ka'ezrach yeh ki ani Adonai Elohechem. The answer is, right, unlike the modern defense, you always have a choice. Right? You always have a choice.
Sure.
Right? I understand you're angry. I understand why you're angry. But too bad. Right? We can sympathize with you. We can empathize with you, but it doesn't get you off the hook. It doesn't get you... And now you understand why are all these halachot here? Because they're explaining the message of this unit, which is, if you curse God, it doesn't matter why you're angry with God. There are consequences. If you kill somebody, I don't care why you were in a fight. There are consequences. If you fight with someone and you damage him or you damage his property, I don't care why you got into a fight. There are consequences. I don't care if you're a ger or an ezrach. I don't care if you're on the inner circle of society or the outer circle of society, on the periphery. I don't care how hard your life is. I sympathize with you, but the law is the same. And once God says, remember, in the end of the day, you always have free will, and no matter how hard things are, you can't take it out on someone and think you're going to get off just because you've had a hard life. What's the consequence? Now I'll read that sequence again. Mishpat echad yeh lachem kager ka'ezrach yeh ki ani Adonai Elohechem vaydaber Moshe b'nei Yisrael vayotziu et Mekalel michutz lamachaneh vayirgemu oto afen u'bnei Yisrael asu kasher tziva Adonai et Moshe. Right? Why is Moshe giving all these laws now? Because he's framing what seems to be unjust to the Jewish people before he makes them carry it out. And he's telling them, look, I get that it's unfair. I understand why he was angry. But halacha law is law. You can't, right? You never quite lose your free will. Right? And there are consequences to your actions, and if you understand that, and that principle, which is true always, right? It's true from the aspect of cursing God, it's true of fighting, assault, murder, all those stuff. So then you can sentence him to death, because once you've explained that there is no get out of jail free card just because you had a hard life, right?
Did
then
Torah warn this Avera?
Right, so that's
the punishment.
So no, right? Presumably not, right? This seems to be a right.
Any of it?
What?
Sorry, can't any of it really be put after Lysikal? Like right after saying "Don't curse Hashem."
Oh, good. So why these laws? Why do you think these laws particularly are here?
These are taking out aggression, I guess.
Because he was in the middle of a fight.
Oh,
right. Meaning, right? Because you're right. Meaning, the laws make sense here. Meaning, he was put to death for the fact that he cursed God during the fight, right? But in the end of the day, this is all part of right. It could have equally ended with him being angry at the other guy and killing him, right? Meaning, he got into a fight. There was assault involved. That's actually not what he's being sentenced for, but it's not actually out of context. It's saying, right? He was in a fight. He was angry. He took it out on God. But had he taken it out on the other person, there also wouldn't have been sympathy from the perspective of the law. Right? Meaning...
Right, it's not unique to...
Correct. Meaning it happens to be that the crime he's being tried for is the fact that he cursed God. But let's say he hadn't cursed God and he'd killed the other guy in anger. Would you have had sympathy on him then and let him off because he had a hard life and the other guy was being a bit of a jerk?
Right.
No! Because in the end of the day, the other guy being a bit of a jerk, it's still not a reason to kill him or fight with him. Right? Meaning, right, I think that's why these laws were put here. Right? I mean, they may not be what he was on trial for, but they were part of the story that brought you here. And the same message, which is, whether you take out your anger in a fight on God, or you take it on the other person, right? Because, again, maybe we'll end with this, right? I hadn't thought about it exactly this angle, but you're right. I mean, the message could be even more than that, which is, you might have had a havamina that we don't have mercy if you take out your anger on others with God. Right? But if we understand why you're in a hard situation, you take out your anger on other people, maybe it will lessen your sentence. And the Torah says, no, even if he hadn't taken his anger out on God, if he'd taken it out fully on the other person and left God out of it, the fact that he had a hard life and the other guy was a jerk still doesn't justify...
And Purim, it's a little different.
On Purim, it's a little bit different, but that's because of Mechila, right? We assume that it's not considered assault, right? But it doesn't mean that you can just say, well, I'm angry at the guy, that justifies fighting, right? Saying there are consequences no matter what you do. Okay, so that's just sort of a tamtzit.